All right. Oh, it was fucking great. I loved it.
Just got out of the Final Destinations.
Final Destination 6.
6.
Bloodlines. And it's pretty gross.
It's
This is a spoiler review, by the way, so click off if you don't want spoilers, because I don't have the mental strength to prevent myself from not spoiling something. Holy shit, that hospital death.
it's probably one of the. I'm not a big Final Destination fan, but I would say it's probably one of the top 3.
That's one of my favorite
killings.
deaths.
In
the whole series.
Best killing.
And you get 2 like in a span of like 5 seconds or whatever it was. But the first one, the dude with all the tattoos, it wasn't even supposed to die. He was just a freaking moron. This is why you don't get your dick pierced.
Yep.
But
that's all we gotta say. Just don't get your dick pierced.
Yeah, don't get your dick pierced. Well, this is a spoiler review, so people who watch this will have already seen the movie.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
This is like an ADHD review, so we're just kind of going all over the place. The opening sequence made me so happy because it reminded me of old Final Destination, or just old Final Destination, just Final Destination in general. I was just so glad. I was like, I'm sitting in a Final Destination movie right now. The first Final Destination movie I ever got to see in theaters. The other ones were all like on DVD or whatever. I love these movies. I own all 5 of them in 4K or Blu-ray or whatever it is. Or maybe it's just DVD actually, but I own all of them. And I'm so glad to finally say that I've seen a Final Destination movie. Penny, for your thoughts? You're deep in thought.
I'm just, I didn't think I would not necessarily enjoy the movie because I was going to enjoy it anyway since the Final Destination
I dragged
movie.
him along.
I didn't think I'd be so, like, I'm not, what's a good word? I'm not scared. Like, usually when you watch...
It just makes you anxious.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you anxious about the real world.
Yeah, but I wasn't anxious, like, after watching it. I was just like, I found it hilarious on some of the deaths.
That's one thing that I will say, like, I still enjoy the movie, but I liked in the older movies when the deaths were taken seriously.
Yes.
And, like, they were, like, grim and dark with, like, a hint of humor because the way they die, it's, like, kind of ridiculous. Like, oh, that's so weird, but oh my God, that was disturbing.
Yeah.
So, like, there's disturbing deaths in this, but the way they play it up, like, for example, like the hospital kill, when you see, like, all his piercings coming out and then you see his dick getting pulled, like, that's funny.
Yeah.
But, like, was it necessary?
Yes.
You know, and I guess for his character it fits because his character would 100% have a dick piercing.
Oh, 100%.
But this movie also has another one of my favorite deaths. Now, this one's not as, like, extravagant as the hospital one, but the garbage truck.
Yes. Okay.
Dude, the way... I know it didn't bother me so much to watch it because it clearly looked fake. Like, this, like, you could tell it's CGI, and like the older movies, they look real for the most part, except for the 4th one. Anyway, it just looked so fake. It looked like CGI. It looked like CGI, which it was obviously, but that was gross. And but it was funny at first, the way that she kind of like went up into the garbage truck and her legs were like flailing. I was like, oh, ha ha. I really thought they were gonna save her. No, I thought that they were gonna like mislead us.
Yeah. Well, what made me before, like, I didn't think she would have died like that was because they called it out. Like, this is how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, you're like, oh.
I did like that you saw it happen in the background though, because usually when the things happen in this movie, you get like an up close POV of it all going down.
Yes.
And the characters don't notice. But I like how you're focused on the characters, it's blurred out in the background and you see it happening in the soccer ball.
Yep.
Hit her.
And then you see the guy kind of falling down in the background. You're just like,
but when that thing crushed her, and the last thing she ever heard was our main girl say, "It's okay, you're not gonna die, you're not next." And then you just see her face go, and I was like, it looks like she's next. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and then you just find out that somebody in the movie isn't blood related.
Yeah, the tattoo guy's not blood related, so he died by his own accord because he wanted to kill his brother with peanut butter to bring him back and break the chain or whatever, which, you watch a Final Destination movie, the chain's never broken.
No.
Let's talk about Tony Todd, the Candyman. Tony Todd is
legendary, rest in peace.
he's the fucking man, dude. And it broke my heart when I found out that he died. And knowing that this is his last movie, that speech that he gave, where he was like saying life is beautiful, take it one day at a time, or whatever it was that he said, it was touching as hell. But I was just listening to it and I was like, I wonder if they wrote that in, because you can tell in the movie like he has cancer or whatever it was. I'm pretty sure it was cancer.
It was stomach cancer.
Yeah. And then he just says his goodbyes and he's like, good luck. And then at the end of the movie, he says, in loving memory of Tony Todd. Oh my God, man.
Well, what's crazy is like I knew who Tony Todd was as Candyman, but you know what I mean, like as a movie character, but I didn't know who he was as an actor.
Yeah.
So like when I seen him, I was kind of like, I know who he is. Like I recognized him, but
you recognize him by face.
Yeah. It didn't hit me until I had to look it up on my phone. I'm like, oh shit, he's the Candyman.
Yeah. Looked it up on his phone in the middle of the movie with the brightness all the way up. By the way,
that's usually what I do. I'm gonna research it.
At least turn the brightness down.
It was halfway down.
Luckily, the theater was mostly empty.
Dude, it was literally us and like 4 other people.
Yeah. But at the end of the movie, first of all, when that old lady dropped the penny, I looked over at Steve and I was like, I've never seen a coin roll that far. Like,
dude, it rolled.
But that fucking penny is the death of everybody. That penny is what caused what would have happened in the premonition in the beginning.
So, but it wasn't the same penny?
It was the same penny.
Okay.
It's the one that she got from the book.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then it all just came full circle. And it got just so happened to get stuck in the middle of the train tracks. I looked at Steve and I was like, if a train fucking derails and kills everybody, I will love this movie forever. And
well, what made me so did, to my knowledge, to the ending, did everybody die in that situation? Or did it
I'm sure, man.
Yeah, because
of train derailing like that, there's no way. I mean, it didn't show them die.
Yeah, but
so there's no telling whether they actually did or not.
But there had to have been, bro, right? Because that derailment was like.
Yeah, like even the way that like it had the establishing shot of the train after it stopped. I really thought I wasn't expecting them to die by the logs. I really thought the train was going to keep going, and when she fell, I thought she was just going to go, and then he was next, or then maybe he was like no, and then he's last, so then he gets crushed by the log or whatever. The car's freaking out because of this new construction. It can't tell what's the lane and what's not.
It's just,
which death was the funniest to you? I think you're going to say the same thing as me.
Probably the hospital one. No,
the mom.
The mom.
I'm gonna stay alive as long as I get dead immediately. It was like,
well, what's crazy is when the explosion happens, you see her body kind of go.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, the body's gone, like she's dead. And then she's like on the ground, burned. And then all of a sudden she gets up.
First of all, I want to talk about and appreciate how real that explosion looked.
Dude,
I don't know if that explosion was practical, but considering most of the deaths in the movie were like looked so fake, when that house blew up, it looked very real. Yeah. I was like, okay. But when I say it looked fake, it's not Final Destination 4 fake.
Yeah.
That movie, I still love that movie. It's still fun to watch. Oh, you're right. I'm taking you home, aren't I? Yeah. My bad. But it still like looked fake, but it didn't bother me. It usually doesn't bother me too much. This Final Destination 4 bothered me so much because it was that bad.
Yeah.
Like it was just almost unbearable to look at. But anyway, where would you, from what you remember about Final Destination, where would you rank all 6 movies? From like most favorite to least favorite currently, fresh off of 6.
So I'd put 6 at 3.
Okay.
I'd put...
Confusing wording. 6 at 3.
I'd put Final Destination 2 at 1. Because if you've never seen Final Destination...
The second one's iconic, man.
Yes.
Like the first one started the franchise, but the second one's iconic for a reason.
100%.
Log truck.
Yes. So I would say the second one, because it has a traumatic feeling to me on an everyday basis. So I do the second one as number 1. Then I do the first one as number 2. It's kind of weird, but I do the first one just because it's like if you've never seen...
You like the 6th one more than the 5th one.
Well, in a way, it's like if you've never seen Final Destination, like if you've really never seen it, and you start off with the second one, but you're like, oh, I just want to watch the first one just to see it.
Yeah.
I would still put that at number 2, and then number 3, 6 kind of puts it up top, bro. 6, this one that we just watched, it takes number 3 spot, 100%.
I'm assuming 4 is at the least favorite.
Yeah.
So, which one's 4th and 5th then? Like, do you have like third? The third.
So I would
movie
say
at
like
4th
third
place?
is at 4, and then the 4th movie would be the 5th one.
No, the 4th movie would be the 6th one. So where do you rank the 5th movie? Is the 5th movie 5th?
Yeah.
Really? You don't like the 5th one that much?
Well, I didn't really watch it as much,
Okay.
so I didn't really get like a.
My ranking is the 5th one's my favorite.
Okay.
And you know, like objectively, I think the first movie is the best one still. But personally, because of my experience watching the 5th one, it's my favorite. Especially how it just like tied in all 5 movies. It like looped back around and it surprised you as a prequel. Still to this day, the biggest twist that I've ever seen in my life in a movie. And then, so with that in mind, with the 6th one, the 5th one is my first favorite. The first one is my second favorite.
Okay.
With 6 fresh on the mind, I really enjoyed it. So it's at 3rd right now.
Okay.
And then I have 2, 3, and then 4.
Okay.
And you know, I think 4 is at the bottom of everybody's list.
Yeah, but 4.
But-
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed 4 because just for the comic view of it, just like everything.
It's
that
just
had to do
funny.
with it. Yeah. Because
And-
on the deaths and that, it's kind of like over the top in the sense of like, do you really think it's gonna happen? And
Like even like the little scene where like at the NASCAR, she put tampons in her kid's ears, and he's like, "That's a lot of tampons for one woman." And I was like, "What? Like what is the right word? Is that like a misogynistic thing to say? Like that's a lot of tampons for one woman." Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Like fucking. But I started getting offended. Like I'm a woman. What the hell? Anyway, good movie. Watch it in IMAX because holy crap.
Yes.
When that camera, like you could tell when the deaths were coming because the screen expanded.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, here we
And
go.
it wasn't like the other Final Destinations. You kind of have to like expect what's gonna happen. Like, oh, that's what's gonna kill him, or that's what's gonna kill him, or that's what's gonna kill him.
This movie did that.
No, it did.
It misled you.
No, it did. But it was like you kind of had a. After watching a bunch of the Final Destination movies, you kind of have an understanding, kind of like the view of what the main character is saying, like of death. You kind of know what's gonna kill them in a sense. So I kind of wish it was misleading, but it was like
Misleading.
not misleading, but it wasn't, because like with the girl that died in the trash can, she called it before it happened.
You know, I'm surprised that the
I
girl
wish
from
they
the
didn't call
premonition
it.
in the beginning died so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, "You'll have to see it to believe it." And then immediately the fire extinguisher like goes off and it goes like right through her face.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looked to see it. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
It's like
no.
that was so quick.
She's like, fine, you're gonna have to believe it.
And she just accepted it. It was like, "This is the only way. I can't. There's no possible way for me to live for you to believe me." It's not like.
Yeah.
Well, actually, she wouldn't have ever believed her because so long as she was alive.
Yes.
Then it never would have happened.
Yes.
Which, honestly, if she was a good grandma, she would have gone back inside and been like, you know what, it doesn't matter if she believes me. Although, she did say she was dying from cancer. So they were going to figure it out eventually.
But low key, you knew the fire extinguisher had something to do with it because
it dropped when she closed the door.
Yes.
Yeah. I looked at Steven when that fire extinguisher dropped. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
was
when
like,
it
it was
dropped,
so it
in my
begins.
head I went, there's something gonna have to do with that. And then when it happens, you're like,
It was kind of cheesy when she was talking to death. Though. She was like,
No.
"You're not going to get me."
you thought I
5
was
minutes
dead.
later, he got her.
You
he
thought
was
I
like-
was kidding?
You know, she like went into the afterlife, like she met up with him at like the river Styx in Greek mythology or some shit, and he goes, "You were saying." I will say though, Tony Todd, the way that they actually explained his character, like it's cool, it's good enough, but all this time of me watching these movies and being a fan of them, I was really hoping Tony Todd would be death. Like the manifestation of death, or like I've seen theories about him being like a fallen angel, or just like somebody, you know. And I think the 5th movie played up him potentially being death with how suspicious he was in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we got an explanation. I'm not mad with the explanation. It's just I wanted it to be way more supernatural than that, but it's okay.
And I what I do appreciate with that his characters, they didn't kill him.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not dead.
Yeah, like in a sense,
It's already bad enough Tony Todd is dead in real life.
Yes, but like in a sense, they didn't kill his character off. Like every other character that was ever in the franchise died because of death.
Yeah.
Death was like, you know what, bro? You're cool.
He was like, you a G.
Yeah,
He was like, I like that Candyman movie. You get to live.
you take some lives, bro. Like, well, he probably did though too.
Or maybe he like made a deal with Death. Like he cleans up all the bodies of the people that die, and Death's like, you get to live if you clean up my mess.
He's a morgue guy.
Did I take the right turn?
No, you can take one right here.
Okay. So this is coming up on 15 minutes here. This will be my longest movie review ever. I'm pretty sure the watch time on this video is going to be like 2 minutes out of the 15. But if you guys enjoyed our review, drop a like, subscribe, and share. If you did not, fuck you. Drop a like, subscribe, and share, or Death is coming for you. I'll add you to his master plan if you don't freaking share this video and give me money.
But just check it, to all the haters, if you're watching this now,
I don't have
you're
haters.
giving us likes.
No,
I'm just saying, to the haters that watch it and talk shit, if you're watching this now, if you're made it to the end of the video, you're giving us this likes. You're giving us these views. So continue watching it. But like you said, like, subscribe, and hit that fucking notification button so you know that we're on live.
How do you advertise my channel better than I do?
Dude, just because that's what I do.
All right.
Check it, guys. Later.